In this video I thought it would be a great little idea to do a comparison of the features of the Tonex and the new KEMPER Profile Player. So let's not mess about, let's get straight to it. They're both very similar products on the surface. They both seem to do a similar job on your pedal board, i.e. they both replace your amp on the pedal board and give you a direct signal to a desk or a signal to go to a monitor or a full range card behind you to make it feel like you've got an amp, but you've actually got all the advantages of having lots of different amps because you're working with captures. So we're going to do a checklist and we're going to see which one comes up trumps. Let's get into it. So size wise, they're both exactly the same, so that's definitely a draw. Inputs, both got a jack input, again, exactly the same. As far as outputs are concerned, they're both pretty similar. They've both got stereo pair of jacks that are unbalanced. They've both got a stereo headphone out. However, the KEMPER has a balanced line XLR output on it, but it's a single balanced line XLR, so it's mono. You can use that to go to the front of house in mono, or you can use it to drive a power cab behind you if you wish to do that. So really, I've got to give that one to the KEMPER. Now, as far as control goes, controlling it from an external app, well, the Tonex has its Tonex Librarian, which lets you download sounds and it lets you do your captures and all of that kind of thing. But as far as editing and editing what's on the pedal is concerned and things like that, it's not great and it's really confusing to use. As far as editing on the pedal is concerned, that's even worse, to be honest. You're flicking through lots of menus, you press the wrong button, you go miles back. The display is not really a great display. It's like something we had in 1988. You know, it's not great, it's not easy to use. It does have a row of knobs, so as far as adjusting the amp and the basic settings, it's really intuitive, but getting deeper into it, then it gets tricky. It really does. The KEMPER, on the other hand, has the genius idea of using a Bluetooth device. It's got Bluetooth, so you can take your iPad, you can take your phone, and you've got an editor that you can use on your phone directly connected to the pedal that controls and saves what's on the pedal. The Tonex, not so good. I'm gonna give that one to the KEMPER by a mile. Expression pedals, yeah, they've both got expression pedals. One of them or one of them, both do that exactly the same. As far as captures are concerned, the KEMPER has a vast library from donkey's years worth of KEMPER profiles. The Tonex has a very, very quickly growing library. The thing is, with both these units, you can't, with the unit itself, do your own captures. With the Tonex, if you've got the Tonex capture-y boxy thing, or you've got a sound card that can reamp, or if you've got a reamp box kind of thing, then you can do your own captures. With the KEMPER, that doesn't exist yet. Maybe there is a software version on the way, but at the minute, the KEMPER, you're stuck with just downloading and play. The clue's in the name, it's a player. So it plays your captures or your profiles, whatever language you want to use, but it doesn't create them. Having said that, there are years and years and years worth. So if you can't find something similar to what you've got or what you want to create or what you want to have in the KEMPER world, then, you know, you're probably wanting something that either doesn't exist or I don't know what. So in that case, because you can sort of get your own captures with the Tonex, I've got to give that one to the Tonex. Both units though, you will have loads of choice and you will find sounds that sound great. Both units have got a noise gate, so that's a tick for each. They both do cab IRs, so again, tick for each. Well, I'm saying tick, I'm making them green. Now, a big thing is taking the actual capture or profile and how well you can edit it. Both these units let you do that really, really well. The Tonex from the get-go has had great EQ on it. The gain control on it performs really, really well. You can take quite a gainy amp, you can back it off a long way, or you can add to it quite a bit. The Kemper, by comparison, has what it calls liquid profiling, which is fairly new to the Kemper world. Kempers of old, you had your profile and then that was pretty much it. You couldn't do a great deal with it without it sounding a lot less natural. Now that they've added this new feature, then it's working really, really well, and you've got a great EQ and you've got great range of gains with them as well. So now I think both those units will be on a par, so they're both going green. Switching, they both do seamless switching, no gaps between presets. Tip top, that's what we want. Again, though, a draw. Now, as far as backup is concerned, both units have a librarian or an app that lets you save what you've done and back things up. However, I'm going to give this one to the Kemper because the Kemper lets you store all of its presets and all of your captures and everything on a memory stick, which you plug into the back of the unit and that's it. So you can have that memory stick. If you've got a big Kemper, you can plug it into that. You can plug it into another unit. You don't need a librarian or anything software related to actually save and keep your captures. You can keep it on a memory stick. Little bit useful, could be good. And because it's there, I've got to give that one to Kemper. Recording via USB, yep, both units do that, and both units will do a cracking job of that and act as a sound card and do all of those things and give you great DI'd sounds into your workstation. Now, MIDI ports. The Tonex has standard traditional MIDI ports. It's got an in and an out, so you can put it in line with other things. The Kemper, on the other hand, only has a USB MIDI. So if you're working with other units, you can't just take a standard MIDI cable and bang them together. You need to convert that to a USB MIDI. I'm going to give that one to Tonex. Now, as far as effects are concerned, both units have noise gate. They've both got reverb. And remember, these things are acting like an amp would. So in a real world, an amplifier would probably have a reverb, but it would be one of those metal boxes filled with springs. Both units will give you that, but they'll also give you some nice hall reverbs, etc., etc. They both give you a noise gate. However, as far as effects are concerned, the Kemper gives you 4 effects. You can put 2 effects in front of the profile, and you can put 2 effects behind it. So you can have your core or your modulation effects and compression in front of it, and then you can put a reverb and a delay behind it. So you've got a full sound that you can take to the desk. So it's almost like an HX Stomp with a few blocks less. In fact, if you think about it, with an HX Stomp, you've got 8 blocks. One of them would be your amp, one would be your cab, which would leave you 6 things left. One of them would be a compressor. So it's only one effect block behind an HX Stomp. Think about that. The Tonex, on the other hand, has a great reverb. It's stereo, it's nice, and it's got a compressor, but that's about it. So really, as far as effects are concerned, I've got to give this one to Kemper. Handy bits of utility stuff. The Kemper's got a tuner in it. Great. 1 for Kemper. Right, the killer one, price. Well, right, for some reason my camera's just overheated, so I'll switch to this one, which may sound and look different, so don't be surprised. But price-wise, the Kemper is $499 in the UK. I've already seen it a little bit cheaper than that. I think Toman we're knocking 50 quid off it. And the Tonex is retailing for $329 at 1 or 2 retailers online. So the price-wise, you know, the Tonex has the advantage and is winning that one. Let's give it the green. Right, there's a lot of green on here, which tells me that both units are very, very similar. So, total-wise, the Kemper has 14 in the green, and the Tonex has 12. Okay, you know what? There's not a lot between the 2 units. Price is the big thing, and number of effects is the other. If you're using this unit with a multi-effect unit, really all you need it for is for the captures, and you replace your amp blocks in your multi-effect with the Tonex. With the Kemper will replace a lot more. So if you want to use it with just different pedals and have some effects and have the Kemper do most of the heavy lifting, then maybe the Kemper is the win. As far as a whole rig's concerned, if you don't mind doing a little bit of dancing on individual pedals, or if you've got particular individual pedals that you really, really want to keep using, or if you've got a big fancy delay, for instance, things like that, then maybe the Kemper may be the one for you. But, you know, I hope this has helped you make your mind up. I hope this has helped you weigh them up. Both units sound amazing, and both units do an amazing job. There's a little price difference. The Kemper does more effects. The Tonex gives you that thing that you need with the amps and sounds great. So you weigh them up, tell me what you think. Which units do you think would work best for you and your setup and how you're going to use them? I'd love to know. But in the meantime, I'll see you in the next video.